Some of you may therefore be familiar with real chicken. Very stupid name. If you end up looking like this, if you imagine me spinning on a spit, that's going to be a lovely image for you to start with. The goal of this kind of guard, it's an interim position. So this is for when someone's approaching you and you haven't got any point of connection yet. So this gives you something to build off, then move into the guards that you actually want to use. You're on your back, but you want to make certain that you have your head up and your butt slightly up as well. So I'm totally flat, it's going to be very hard for me to move due to friction. So I want to reduce that surface area so I can spin more easily. There's a checklist to go through. So first thing, your head is up, so your head doesn't go down, but you're not doing this. You could do this, but you get really knackered really quickly. So just lifting up the head. Knees to your chest, as close as you can get it. Then you also want to have your knees and your feet as wide as you can. Then final thing, the soles of your feet are going to be pointing at your partner's chest. If this is in front of me, first thing I want to be in this position. So I'm pointing at Vince's chest. Possibly the weirdest thing about this kind of guard is that you're not moving how you would think you'd move, like with your feet, because you want to keep this guard in place the whole time. So this is like if you've got a boxing guard, same idea here, this stays in front as your defense. Instead, you're going to move with your elbows. So one elbow is going to push down, and the other one is going to scoop in the direction you want to turn. So as Vince moves around, I'm moving with my elbows. Now try not to let my feet move too much, so you don't want to be doing this. That will probably happen as you get used to this, but you're trying eventually to have them fairly stable. Because naturally, a boxing guard would be pretty rubbish if whenever you turn, your arms did that. You get punched on the face, which would not be good. Okay? Be aware that this is quite tiring. So, with your partner, make sure they're being nice to you, so they're not trying to sprint around in a circle, as you just get used to doing this. Does that make sense, everyone?
Yeah, I think we're going to take it.
We'll see a few more hours. So, with your partner, do that one. If you think about your wingspan of your legs, you can do that. You only need to turn when they get past your feet here. Before they do that, you can instead just trap them with your legs. So David's in front of me, if he's moving to one side or the other, I can just do this until I have to turn. So I'm tracking, get the other way, following with the legs. Then eventually, do so. Okay, so you've got to hold off for a little while, and then it, rather than a continuous, why will this pain never end? It's horrible. He's going down. So it's that tracking motion. So combined with that, the other thing that may well happen, especially if they're adding in some resistance, is they might try and shove your legs to one side. So if David's having to grab my legs and shove it to the mat, naturally, big problems for me, I'm going to get your hands here are going to help you with that. So when they try and push your legs to one side, you use that to self-frame against your legs. So push it that way, going here, try to push it the other way. Okay, so that adds in another thing you can do with your partner. So they're trying to push your legs to the side, your arms are here, waiting. Finally, if they're stepping in close with a leading leg, then you don't even have to push off. So if he steps in close, I can just start his shin and push with that. If he steps in this way, you can use that push. Okay, so that's 3 new things to add in. You've got your tracking, self-frame, and finally pushing on the shin if they're stepping in. If he manages to start pushing my legs down to this side, I get my arm on here, he might well be looking to go for a knee cut. So with the knee cut, what he wants for that I don't have my arm there, there's a knee cup. To pin my leg to the ground, and now his leg is solid on the floor, and I'm stuck. However, if I manage to get my arm under it, he does that. Now he's not on the ground, he's on my arm, so he's not stable. That gives me the opportunity to try and disrupt his balance. I'm going to use my other leg to do that. So if I kneel in the top with this knee, then I can turn, come back. Very useful motion in lots of situations. In this situation, we're just using it to add into our general drill, but you can use that in lots of places. So again, I'm here, if I push my leg down, got my arm underneath, he's going for his knee cut. This knee, I'm going to smack him in the butt, and then I'm going to rotate up behind his leg. So knock, rotate, if I can grab his leg, he can go. Okay? So now we're adding that in. So practice that motion first, and then we'll add it into the general drill as well. Okay? Okay, you push my feet down. This goes behind, so I bring my elbow back. That's my initial base. I come up. I do then go to my hands. Putting this on here so that if it tries to drive forwards, I've got some distance against that. And I'm pushing off my feet to move my butt back. Great distance, recover. Okay, so without moving there, you're here, feet go down, elbow back, coming up, onto my hands, push back. Alright. So naturally, if we were doing this as using it in sparring, you might then move into a sitting guard, because this is a guard in itself. Okay, but in the context of what we're doing here, we're just using that to recover our coaching. Okay, so practice that movement first, and then we'll add that in the general drill. And I'm here, so good. You might be having your legs dipped too low, you might also have them going too high. If they go high, just start pushing them up above my head, then this is going to happen. Okay, so some people are very happy here. I'm definitely not. I don't want this all the way in. So ideally, you want to avoid that unless it's some kind of master of it. The entertaining thing for freaks, when that happens, and it's a bit of a weird motion to get used to, you're going to try and shove your tailbone down into the mat and lock your head to the mat. Yeah. And that changes what happens. So if I do that, I'm just pushing on my legs. You push it on. I either just stay here, or if you've got shaved head, you leave a little flame trail down the mat and then just shove you forwards. Okay? So head clamps down, and so does your tail there. So rather than this, you go to that. Doing the opposite of what we're talking about, reducing friction. Now we're increasing friction and making it hard for them to push our legs up. Okay? So practice that one now. Vince is in front of me, and he starts, he moves in a slow circle around. I can continue tracking, even if he's going behind me, and I have my legs up. So it's easier, so another good tip from Free, to move your legs that way if you put your arms back. So if Vince gets all the way around behind me, and I'm here, he's behind me, and he comes in close. Then you can use your feet, and cross them over, swivel back. Okay? So you can tell from my glee for kind of moving there, this is not a motion I'm a fan of. But if you're somebody who does like, you're burning all that kind of stuff, this is a good thing to add. So you're trying to get good at being able to move your legs all the way around, and then having them here. And the idea is, at this point, if he drives in towards me, I still have my guard in place, because my feet can push into it. Then I can swivel back, and continue. Okay? As I said, if like me you hate doing this motion, this does help to get those legs back over. And your partner is going to be helpful by not moving too far away and moving behind you, so you can still reach with your arms. Okay?
Do you cross your feet before you swivel?
I generally do, but you can play around. It's just having something to push off, which enables you to then do that rotating motion. So you can play. Crossing them over seems to work for me, but you don't have to. If you find you can swivel around without doing that, do that. Okay? So again, if he's managed to get past my legs and come all the way around, So I take all, well, before he gets all the way around, I guess, I'm going to catch him before then. Instead of trying to follow my legs, I can just turn the turtle instead. And Francesco knows that you can either go towards them or away from them. So if he's starting here and he goes around behind, and I'm circling, you can turn towards them. No. Alternatively, moving around, I can turtle away. The important thing that Francesco adds is when you turtle away, you stick your arm up, which looks a bit odd if you don't know the context. So you turtle away and the arm comes up. Okay, it's not that I'm doing my funky dance moves. The reason is that when I turtle like that, he's probably going to follow coming across. So I turtle away, he's trying to follow, so my arm is already here to begin. Get to that resting position. Okay, so you're kind of giving up on your guard. So if you're very keen on inverting, you want to stay in the guard, go with that option. If you're like me and you're lazier, you can just go to turtle instead. It's either going towards them, get in that position, or going away from them, but making certain as you do, this arm that's on the side that they're on comes up, ready to then move in. Okay. Go with that one now.